Alright, guys. Like I already said, we're going over this so that when you go to math and learn about scientific notation, you have a better understanding of the power of 10, alright? So the first thing is like, we're going to look at these patterns, these powers of 10, and y'all look at these. Do y'all see any patterns?
No.
You see any patterns?
Yes, yes.
What's the pattern?
It's 10, 100, 1,000, 1 million.
Right. Every time we multiply 10, we multiply it by a power that's 10 more than the first one.
I
You see
get
what I'm
it.
saying? So we multiply 10 times 1, we get 10. Then we multiply 10 times 10,
We get 100.
We multiply 10 times 100, we get
1,000.
We multiply 10 times 1,000.
We get 1 million.
Another 10, no, we get 10,000. Another thing I want y'all to look at is that each time is greater by 10, but also each time, look at the number of zeros back here.
3.
Look at the number of zeros. When we're up here at 10 times 1, is 1 0 in the two factors, right? And when we go to the product, we have 1 0. You see? We have 2 zeros here. You see that? You see that, Amanda? We have 2 zeros here. So pretty much we're adding the zeros and putting them behind the 1. Y'all see that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, y'all see that? Y'all see the patterns in this. So we found 2 patterns in this, and one is that it's greater by 10 each time. Also, is that the number of zeros is the same in the product as it is in the 2 factors, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, y'all get y'all video, and we're going to look at the video, the Power of 10 video, and once we watch that, we'll discuss it even further, okay? Yeah. Watch the video.
Let's think about what happens when we multiply by 10 and see if we can see some type of a pattern. So let's just start with 1 and multiply that 1 by 10. And this, of course, is equal to 10.
John, please help
Let's
John.
multiply by 10 again. So let's do 1 times 10. And now let's multiply by another 10. Let's multiply by another 10. So what's this going to be? This is going to be 1 times 10, which is 10. And then that 10 times 10. So we're 10 tens or 100.
See how it
Now let's multiply by 10 again. So we're going to have 1 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. What is this going to be equal to? Well, we already know that 1 times 10 times 10 is 100. And then we're going to multiply that times 10 again. So we're going to literally have 10 100s, which we know is the exact same thing as 1,000. So what's the pattern here? Well, here we multiplied by 10 once, and we have 1 0. Here we multiplied by 10 twice, and we have 2 zeros. Here we multiplied by 10 3 times, and we have 3 zeros in our answer. Let's do it again, although this looks like a pretty clear pattern. Let's multiply by 10 4 times. So we'll start with a 1. We'll multiply by 1 10. That's our first 10. Then our second 10. Then our third 10. And now our fourth 10. Well, what's this going to be equal to? Well, it's going to be this thing times 10. Or this thing, I should say, times 10, or 1,000 times 10, which is 10 thousands. So let me write that 10,000. So once again, we just started with a 1. We multiplied by 10 4 times, and we got 10,000. 1 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Let me make that clear. We start with a 1. We multiply it by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And our product is 1 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So I think you see the pattern here, but there might be something you're craving. You're like, hey Sal, this is a pain to do this repeated multiplication. I wish there was some type of operation that just did it for us. The same way that back in the day when you were doing repeated addition, where if you were saying 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, you said, hey, this is the same thing as 4 times 10. There should be another thing for repeated multiplication. If I have 1 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is really the same thing as taking 4 tens and multiplying them together, because the 1 doesn't change the value. same way if you take 4 tens and add them up, that's the same thing as 4 times 10. If you take 4 tens and take their product, this is the same thing as 10 to the 4th power. 10 to the 4th power literally means taking 4 tens and multiplying them together. Or you could view it as starting with a 1 and multiplying by 10 4 times. So this is also equal to 10 to the 4th power. This right over here, we started with a 1, we multiplied by 10 3 times. So it's the same thing as 3 tens multiplying together. This is 10 to the 3rd power. This right over here is 10 squared, or 10 to the 2nd power. And this right over here, we just have 1 10 right over here. We just started with the 1, we multiplied by 10 once. This is 10 to the 1st power.
10 to the first
And just so you know a little bit of the terminology, here 10 is our base. The base is 10. And this 4 that we have right over here, this is the exponent. The exponent. So given that notation, let's just do one practice. Let's think about what colors, what 10 to the 6th power is. And I encourage you to pause the video and think about it. Well, there's 2 ways to think about it. You could view this as taking 6 tens.
Pause.
10,
Pause.
10.
Pause.
Don't you told us to pause
All right,
the
take your
video?
headphones off. Everybody got to the pause the video part?
Yeah.
10 to the 6th power. So we're talking about exponents. You gotta introduce exponents to you right there. So we had to put exponents by these. Does anybody know what would the first exponent be here? We had 10 to the 1st power. That is correct. I'm gonna write the exponents in red so we'll know, okay? So this is 10 to the 1st power. And when we're looking at this, 10 times 10 is what?
100.
10 times 10. We were doing it as an exponent. How would it? 10 to the 2nd power. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. 10 to the 2nd power. When we're looking at 10 times 100, it'll be 10 to the 3rd. Right. And you know why? Because when you're looking at this, it's 10 times 10. And then you can break this 100 into one more 10 right there.
Then the next we gonna be 10 to the 4th power.
10 to the 4th power. So this is 10 to the 4th power. And that's because we have 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. There we go. Y'all catch now. Y'all catch now. So we got 10 to the 4th power here. If we wanted to make 10 to the 6th power, how many zeros do you think will be after the
6.
1? There you go. There you go, Mr. Jones. 6 zeros. So let's count them together. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals 1 million.
That is
1 million.
That is correct. When we put the commas in there, it is 1 million, correct. All right, y'all go back and finish up the last minute of the video.
10, 10, 10, and 10. And multiplying them together. So we multiply them all together. Or you could view it as starting with a 1 and multiplying it by 10 6 times. But either way, what are you going to get? Well, if you're multiplying 1 by 10 6 times, you're going to end up with 1 followed by 6 zeros. We already saw this pattern, so it's going to be 1 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, or 1 million. So 10 to the 6th power is the same thing as 1 being multiplied by 10 6 times. We're taking 6 tens and multiplying them together. And that's going to be equal to 1 followed by 6 zeros, which is this pattern we saw, or 1 million.
All right, y'all at the end. All right, once you're done, go ahead and take your headphones off and put it back behind you, all right? You can close yours up, just put it back
I
behind you.
finished.
Once you're done, take your headphones off and put it behind you. And now we're gonna look at a power of 10 worksheet, okay? This worksheet is gonna help y'all better understand exponents, okay? We're gonna fill it out together so you can keep it, see what that noise is for. So you can keep it in your notebook, in your math notebook, okay? Just in case you need to reference. Oh yeah, that's the next video.
Are you gonna watch the next video?
No, we're not. You just need to pause it so not play
Power
out loud.
of 10.
This one, I can't.
Okay, just sit it behind you right there. Sit it right behind you. There you go, right there. It is. So everybody's gonna get a power of 10 worksheet.
You I have on it?
Yes, ma'am, we're gonna do it together. We're
Say
gonna do
that
it
again?
together. The first thing we need to do, what do y'all see at the top up there? The first thing,
Exponents for.
no, the first thing we need to do is write our name on here. That's the first thing we need to do, write our name. You have a pencil, Sissy? Go sharp, let me see it, I'll sharpen it. Here's yours.
How long you have that pencil?
Let's stay focused. All right, everybody look at the power of 10 worksheet. I'm gonna read the direction, go ahead and write your name up there for me. The directions say, fill in the chart with the correct missing information. So as a class, what we're gonna do right now is figure out what is the missing information, okay? We talked about the powers of 10, how you multiply them out. We even broke it down, and we know that an exponent is what? When you're looking at 10 to the second power, that tells you to multiply 10 by itself 2 times, right?
Yes.
It's like 10 to the third tells you to multiply by itself 3 times. 10 to the fourth tells you to multiply by itself 4 times, right?
What's in there say? Excuse me, what's in there say?
Let's not interrupt. We're moving on to the directions, okay? We'll come back to that. We're moving on to the first. If you look at the first line, let's look at the first line. That's an example. That's gonna be an example of what we're gonna do when we fill out the rest of the sheet, okay?
Yes, sir.
So what's the example? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Let's get on track. Example. What is that right next to that, Jamir?
10 to the third.
10 to the third. That is the exponent form
Then you got
of
the
10 to the third. 10 to the third. We even have that one on the board right here, right?
Yes.
10 to the third. Now, what did they do when they expanded it? When they put it in expanded form, what's that, Samir?
They go do 10 times 10 times 10.
Right, because 10 to the third represents 10 times itself 3 times. And they
Then
have
gonna
that.
be 1,000.
They have that in the second box right there. And then the standard form of that, 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000, right? And we
Yes.
look at this, 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000, 10 times 100 is 1,000. If you look at even these zeros and 10 times 10 times 10, you see how it's 3 zeros, and then we have 3 zeros there.
Yes.
Then if you look at the word form, it says the third power of 10, or 10 to the third power. So you just explaining everything you just wrote, okay? So we're gonna do the next one. We already have part of that one on the board too. Look at this.
Oh.
What do you see? Do you see this on the paper anywhere on that next line?
Yes.
So what is the exponent form of 10
10 to the
times
fourth.
10 times 10?
10 to
To
the
the
third.
fourth.
10 to the fourth. Look at those 10s. How many 10s are multiplying by each other right there? Count 'em.
1, 2, 4.
4. So it's 10 to the,
4.
because 10 is multiplying itself 4 times. We already have these answers up here. So we have 10 to the fourth. That goes in your first box right there. Pay attention. 10 to the fourth goes in your first box. You don't have to write example next to it. That's just for the top one. 10 to the fourth goes in your first box. And then you see the breakdown of 10 to the fourth is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. They already have that filled in for you. So we're going to move on to the next part. What is 10 times 10 times 10 times
1
10?
million. 1 million.
Not 1 million. It's
10 million.
10,000.
2,000.
That's 10,000 right there. 10,000. So that'll be what you write in the next box right here.
Oh.
10,000. 10,000. And in the last box, we're going to put this in word form. So if we had to put this in word form, y'all have already said it. This is what?
10 to the 4th
The fourth power.
equals 10 to the 10 to the 10 times 10 times 10 equals 10,000.
So this is the fourth power of 10. That's what you're going to write first. The fourth power of 10. We're moving on to the last box. The fourth power of 10. The fourth power of 10. The fourth power of 10. That's the top line, right? Or these are the two ways you can write it. The same way y'all just said it. 10 to the fourth
Oh,
power,
on the second box?
period.
On the second box?
That goes in the last box. box. Yes, ma'am. The second box in this column. That's correct. It goes in the last box on that row or the second box in the last column. Give y'all a minute to fill that in. Alright, got done with that one?
No.
Yes.
You ready to go to the door? I'm taking a video right now, so you can go back. I come back in my 15. Alright, let's move along to the next one. So, hold on.
Go ahead.
Alright, so you finish up that last word, we're gonna move on, okay? Look at the next one. If you look down to the third box in that row, they gave you the standard form, right?
It's gonna be 10 to this. 10
They
to
gave you the standard form. We're not counting the zero yet, we're just looking at the standard form. I think we've already written this part of this one on the board too, haven't we?
Yes.
They gave you the standard form, which is
10.
1 million. They gave you 1 million. We're talking about the standard form right now. They gave you 1 million on the sheet, right? If you look on the third row, they gave you 1 million. So what power are we at if they gave you 1 million?
6
million.
6. We're at 10 to the 6th power. If they gave you 1 million as the standard form, we're at 10 to the 6th power. So everybody fill that in on your paper. And then in the next box, what should you do in the next box?
You gotta pick 10 times 10
Let me write it
times.
while you're talking. 10 times 10 times
10 times 10 times 10
10
equals
equals
1 million.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, everybody fill in those first 3 boxes. We have all 3 of those answers on the board.
wait. 1 million.
The 1 million box is already filled in for you. I'm sorry. You got 10 to the 6th. Then you need to do 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 in the next box. Yes, sir. It goes in the box. So fit it all in, guys. Fit it all in. Squeeze it in there.
Got
3, 4,
All right, let's wait on everybody else.
7.
Oh.
Let's wait on everybody else. Make sure you
Pardon the interruption, teachers. I need all GATE students to report to room 205. All GATE students report to room 205.
Alright, there you go. Now let's look at the end of it. If we had to write that in sentence form, just like we did for the 4th power, we had to write this in sentence form, what would be the first line if we wrote it for the 6th power? Do you know, Mr. Thomas? If we wrote this we wrote it right here for the 4th power, but if we wrote this for the 6th power, what would the first line say? The 6th. There you go.
Power.
Power, thank you, Mr. Jones. Where you at, Mr. Thomas? Of 10, right?
Yeah.
Or what's the other way to say it?
10 times 10.
No, no.
Or 10 times
10 to.
the 6th power equals 1 million.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
So we want to write that in the box. In the box.
Yes, ma'am. Write that in the last box on that row. Just like we just did on the 4th power, right here.
Why you say the last row?
That's the last box on that row. Look, these are the rows they go across. The columns go down. The next one's gonna be the last one we do, and I'll let y'all fill in those last 2 ones for a little bit of homework, a little extra credit, okay?
Did we get grades for this?
Yes, sir.
What time we go to beach?
Let's stay focused, sincere. Stay focused on the work right here, okay? Right, we done with the baby. gonna have to move along, guys, for time stakes, okay? Y'all finish writing that down and listen up. Alright, the next one, they gave us the word form only in the column. Y'all see that?
Yes.
In that row, they only gave us the word form, so we're gonna have to read the word form to figure out the rest of it, right? Alright, so let's read it together and see what we get. You ready? Everybody looking at your paper. We're reading the last row, the last box on the next row, okay? The fifth power of 10 or 10 to the fifth power. So we had to write those words into a exponent form. What would it look like?
10 to the fifth power.
Is that what it look like?
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. So that goes in our first box, right?
Yes.
That goes in the first box. The first box on that same row, you put 10 to the fifth power. Now, once we've done 10 to the fifth power, we already know that means 10 times itself. How many times? 5. So the next box, we just fill that in. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. All right? So those are our first two boxes right there. The exponent form of that is 10 to the fifth power. 10 with the 5 as an exponent. The base being 10.
So
The expanded version of that, right? Expanded form would be 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 because we just expanded this out to what it really means.
It's
Which
5.
is 10 times instead of 5 times. It's
so it's gonna be 10.
5 times.
10,000.
It's not 10,000, is it? Not
Oh,
10,000.
man.
Let's write it out. Let's see. So we got 10. How many zeros do we need to add behind this? 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 100,000. That's 100,000. That's how you would say that number.
100.
The standard form of 10 to the fifth power is 100,000. Everybody should have it on paper. You with us? You with us? 100,000. Add you another zero in there. You're missing one. 100,000. See, it's 2 zeros before the comma as well. But if you look at the 5, we have 5 zeros, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But on this one, it say 10 to the, we already did to the 6, so we gotta do 10 to the 8.
No, sir. You have to look at what's on the
Oh,
box.
10 to the 1. 10 to the second.
There you go. You have to look at what's already provided for you, okay? Alright, guys, we're going to move on from the worksheet, alright? And we're just going to talk about other examples where you can make 10, you can use the power of 10, alright?
Yes.
So look up at the board. If I write a problem up here, I want y'all to tell me how we can use the power of 10 in this problem instead of the number, the multiple of 10, okay? So let's look at this. I'm going to use another color so it stands out. Slow down here. So we're going to use, let's stay on stationary. 5 times 100.
Oh no.
It equals what? 5 times 100 equals 500, right?
Yes, because you gotta pick 5, then you gotta pick 2 zeros behind it.
Thank you, sir. Now, if we wanted to write this without using the extended form of 100, right?
Yes.
How could we write this?
10 times.
Hold on. Let's think about it now. We're gonna start with 5, right? How would we write it? If you look over here, you might be able to figure it out. So how would we write it, Sherry? We have to come down with our 5 first, right?
5
Times
5.
5 times what? What are we gonna do to 10? What are we gonna do to 100? What are we gonna do to 100? What can we turn 100 into?
5 to the 4.
10 to the second. Thank you, Mr. Turner.
Oh,
We can turn 100 into 10 to the second. So it'll be 5 times 10 to the second
Equals 500.
still equals 500. Yes, sir, because 10 to the second is 5. It's 10 to the second is 100. I'm sorry. 5 times. Yeah, that's one of the ones we just did on y'all paper.
Do I do that though? Do I write it down? We gotta do that for homework.
Alright, I'm gonna write it the other way and see if y'all can figure it out this time. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see if y'all can get this one. You ready? Everybody, eyes on the board. Eyes on the board.
Yes, ma'am.
Eyes on the board.
Ooh.
Alright. Everybody take a moment, silently think about it, think about it, think about it. Tell me what the problem would be, Trevarian. Hold on. What would the problem be? Just like I wrote it out and extended on right here. What would the problem be here?
2 times 10, 20.
2 times what?
10 to the second power.
10 to the third. I have 10 to the third. But I want to write 10 to the third in expanded form. So if I want to write 10 to the third in expanded form, what would that be?
10 to the...
It would be 2 times.
10.
2 times.
10 to the 100.
2 times 1,000. What you about to say? Don't second guess yourself, man. That was right. So it'd be 2 times 1,000, right? Because that's what 10 to the third is. When we look at 10 to the third, we should know that that's 1,000, right?
Yeah.
So 2 times 10 to the third is 2,000. Let's do another one. Let's do another one.
Do not do that.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly how that next column goes. And then you have to write it in. But we're not doing that right now. We're focusing on the board, all right? We're going to finish that up at homework. All right, listen up. I'm going to give y'all another one. Okay. All right. Who can tell me how to write this one? You go ahead and tell me what the time is. 4. Times what? How do we write 10 to the 4th out? Just tell me how many zeros if you don't know.
1 million.
Huh?
1 million.
Not 1 million, look.
2,000.
Shh. I'm asking Mr. Thomas, you guys. 1,000. Thank you, sir. 4 times. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not 1,000. Sorry, it's not 1,000. Look, 3 is 1,000. So we're looking at 4 is
2,000.
10,000. 10,000. 10,000. Let's focus, guys. Let's focus. So 4 times 10 to the 4th is
10,000.
no, it's 40,000.
40,000.
Because when you multiply that 4, then you get 40,000. Okay? 40,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, who's that?
No,
At the bottom. No.
40,000. So do y'all understand what we're saying when we're looking at 10? When we're looking at multiples of 10 and we're looking at exponents, we're saying 10 times the x times this number itself that many times, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you understand how you get the extra zeros. We understand the relationship between that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now we're going to do a little independent work, okay? And I'm just going to walk around and offer support, and y'all can use your power of 10 worksheets to help you, okay? I'm going to write 5 problems on the board and let y'all solve them, all right?